Good morning. Welcome to Dornbush Download number 188. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Michael.
Yeah, we'll hop straight into it. We've got a little bit to talk about today. John, just recapping Santos, under sort of a bit of a takeover cloud from American mob. Harbour Energy, some information came out yesterday afternoon that Harbour was negotiating with ENN and Honey, two of the major shareholders in Santos at the moment, looking like setting up a special purpose vehicle to effectively exchange shares, which would basically put Harbour Energy in a pretty powerful spot. They own around about 15% of Santos shares. Look, still very early days, and even just a bit of a recap, Harbour Energy came out with a takeover offer of $4.98 US dollars, equates to about $6.50 Australian, give or take a little bit. But nothing official at this stage. Got a fair bit of red tape to bloody cut through to all that Foreign Investment Review Board stuff and all of that sort of thing. But certainly that announcement yesterday, and there's even been a bit more of a follow-up this morning, suggesting that Harbour Energy, certainly still keen to keep that Santos takeover rolling on.
They're getting it cheap.
They are getting it cheap, absolutely.
Historically.
Yeah, it's been a tough play, Santos, for a number of years. They've enjoyed a bit of a rally up with this oil price rise, but you'd have to think Harbour's, not getting a bad deal on this one. But mate, you've been out and about looking at some properties and a few other bits and pieces.
Yeah, on the unlisted side, where you get a bit more stability. I mean, obviously, the share market provides beautiful liquidity. You can get your money any day. Take it 3 days to get the money in the bank from the sale, but that promotes a little bit of volatility, as we've seen through Santos. But one of the things we've expanded over the last few years here at Dornbush Partners is the balancing of your portfolio to give it a bit of stability. Unfortunately, that stability comes in most of these unlisted property and infrastructure trusts with illiquidity. In other words, you're there for the natural term of the trustee, and so that's the problem. But we inspected some AMP wholesale property over the weekend. They operate on a liquidity basis, and they've also got a process whereby they are more conservative. They really buy and hold. They've got 24 properties, about 1.7 billion. They've got a few REITs in there as well, and you've got a 5-day liquidity window at present, and an 8% yield. And their infrastructure fund is the same. But we just like the style, no risk in terms of development risk, and very little refurbishment risk. So they basically buy a building with a good tenant, long leases, and strip out the income, pay it out to the investor.
Yeah. And aside from all, I guess the current raw woes with AMP, these are something completely separate, aren't they?
Yeah, it's AMP Capital, Michael, and AMP Capital with Shane Oliver is a very good operator, and obviously they're not insurance superannuation people; they are investors in property. Yeah. And infrastructure.
Yeah, and that fund's been going for a fair while.
30 years,
hasn't it?
32 years, averaged about 9% per annum return. Which is pretty good term deposit money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've been a big advocate of unlisted property, really since the GFC. This is sort of what created this momentum. I know internally in the office in that direction, and predominantly guided by you, but they really have been a godsend, haven't they?
Well, just a mix of it.
Just to keep things a bit more stable. Yep. Income's usually pretty good, and but as you say, the caveat, if you need that money, it can be a little bit tricky to get it out. But this AMP, as you say, offers that that sort of limited liquidity offering.
Yeah, they hold a fair bit of cash. They've got some REITs, which are listed real estate investment trusts, and so they've got money to pay out. They don't get a lot of redemptions, but obviously, if people are looking at a term deposit where you're going to freeze it for 12 months. Well, this gives you the same sort of reliable income stream, but you can get your money if you need it.
Yeah, and how do you get into them, John? It's just an application form?
Just an application form, and put your money in the bank account or write a cheque.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, mate, I think that's about us done for today. I reckon we've done a pretty good. I reckon we've done a pretty good job between you and me. But anyway, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.